What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of MademB and Narik Reviews. And in this video, we're going to be discussing We Need to Talk About Kevin.
Which is actually a movie.
Actually, based off of a book called We Need to Talk About Kevin.
So, let's talk about Kevin.
All right. So, the movie follows this mother of of her son who end up committing this massacre at a school, and how she's coping with it, as well as remembering what led up to this. And this movie, it's a good movie, a great movie, definitely worth a watch, but it definitely has a lot of very intense moments. So and I gotta give it to her, the movie was actually really engaging. It was really intriguing. And so, as I said, the story follows this mother who is coping with this. She has to deal with, not only her internal struggles about what happened, because she has suffered greatly also, but also the external, that now she's like a taboo to her neighbors, to other people that know who she is, to people that know who she's the father of this mass murderer. So,
she's the father?
No, mother, I meant. I was the mother.
I don't think it's like what the events that led up to the massacre, but I don't think it's like what led up to him being like that. From what I've seen, he was like quite disturbed when he was little.
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe children do go through that phase, then they get out of it. He didn't.
Yeah, he was like very detached, specifically towards her at first.
Right, he like showed like no feelings, no love toward his mother at all.
No emotion. Now, when his father got on him about things, he responded. But it was more like a lot of the things that he did was specific. Is like the story itself is it's a very moving one, but at the same time it's a very intense one. Especially if you could kind of see, you can see throughout his childhood that you can see him potentially doing something like this.
Right.
So like as you watching this guy grow up, you're like, he's really detached.
Like if it was you, and you would, you like seeing your child grow up, you would either be scared that he's gonna either more than likely harm you than himself, or harm other people. So she tries to help throughout it, but he didn't respond like she thought he would.
And you can tell it was very weird. It was like he was like overly intelligent. Cause you could tell he would do things to her, turn around, not do them around the father. I remember the one point where she got mad at him and she threw him. That's like the first time she ever lashed out at him. And he turned around and lied and said that he fell.
Yeah, she broke his arm.
Yeah. Didn't he say he rolled off the what's the name, hit the floor? Yeah,
he said he fell.
But she didn't tell him to say that. He decided to say that. I was like,
And at that age, she was like, and he was like, his eyes was telling like, yeah, I got you where I want you, and it looks like, okay,
he was creepy.
I'll be locking my door around. I'm sorry. I mean, child, or
I gotta give it to him. The character Kevin was played by two people. Of course, the younger version and the older. Well, three of them actually. The infant version of him was Rocky Durrell. No, when they say infant, I'm not sure what they mean. They mean just baby, because they're talking about baby. I'm not talking about the baby. It's about the young kid. I know that was Jasper Newell. He did a great job. That was he'd do something, he'd look straight at his mom, be like, dare you to say something. And then the older one, played by Ezra Miller, he did a great job too, because by the end of the movie you end up kind of, some movies like this, You would think there would be some, but for like him, it was like none. Like I hated his character the whole time. Because normally you would think that there was something that would happen to him that would build him up to it, but it was like no. It was like from Jump Street, he was like that. But the guys, they did a great job with that character. They definitely made that character a very dark, detached, and emotionless character. Tilda Swinton did a fantastic job.
She sure did.
She did a great job.
Okay, after years of that, I guess she thought it would be better if she would have had another child. Because she got pregnant.
Oh, with the daughter.
And he was like, the way he said it, and like the husband didn't know she was pregnant. Like he was like, "Look, mommy's getting fat." He was like, "You're fat," and it was like the husband did not even know. I'm like, okay, you see your skinny wife with a big belly, you don't know.
And I get John C. Reilly played the husband. I actually like John C. Reilly. He did a pretty good job. Usually he plays goofy, kind of stupid comedic roles. He was pretty serious in this one. He was like a normal guy, so I did like him in this. And him and Tilda Swinton did have pretty good chemistry. And you know, they had a pretty good family dynamic. What happens to the daughter was like what really like hurt me because she lost her eye.
Yeah, he poured a sink cleaner into her eye,
and that was brutal. That was straight up brutal. And she was like a young, pretty little girl too. Even the way he treated her, it seemed like the only person he treated with any amount of respect was the dad. But he would sit there and talk down on the little girl.
Like even as he got older in his teenage years, all she was trying to, I mean, that's her big brother. She was just trying to, play with him and stuff, like go away or just push her and whatever.
Make fun of her some kind of way.
Little bastard.
And even it was one part where his mother tried Eva tried to take Kevin out to eat, and it seemed like it was actually doing pretty good because but then he ended up going off the rail talking about how she would try to connect with him, but at the same time it was actually her using that to overlook like all the bad stuff he'd done to her. And like it was really messed up. It was really messed up on his part. But that is just almost as compelling as it's more compelling, but the part where she has to deal with the aftermath, and I think that's actually a strong argument for her character too, because
the aftermath of what he did.
Yeah, because not only does she have to deal with the emotional turmoil that she's dealing with, that her son actually killed all those kids in that school.
Plus,
also the family. So she lost her husband and her daughter.
I think I almost cried because it was at the end. You thought she was gonna come home and they was gonna be there. It was like in the backyard. I was like, oh my goodness. So before he did that, he done that. Trying to find like throughout the movie some kind of thing, like you see, how you see something in somebody, and then like, okay, that's why he's doing it. I didn't know why he was doing all of that.
And then she has and then people were actually treating her like that, treating her like trash. What was the one woman came, slapped her in the face. People didn't want to give her a job. The one guy acted friendly to her, but then when she kind of shied away from him at that party, what did he do? Turn on her, I was like, wow.
Acting like she was the one who done all that. I mean, she was trying to help her son out as much as she could. I mean, she couldn't do nothing else.
And like I said, I can understand the people being mad at, kind of being mad at her because it was her offspring.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't walk out unscathed either. Like I said, she lost her husband and her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a very interesting dynamic that they did put in the movie. So you see him what's going on in the past, and you see what's going on in the present, and also one thing that they did focus on. Another thing that they focused on was throughout the movie. It was going back to the present while she was still seeing her son while he was in prison.
Yeah,
and he for the most part lacked any remorse in what he did. That was the only point in the movie you kind of saw any kind of humanity in him. Because she was like, why did you do this? And what did he say? He thought he knew. And you can see he didn't have that look in his eye anymore. Because by this time, he's going to be shipped off to an adult prison, basically for life.
Yeah.
This movie is like definitely a great movie, especially people who don't know how to control their kids. But stop that.
I mean, not know how to control them, but if you're there, I mean, there are people who do deal with something like that. I don't probably wouldn't suggest them watching this movie. Then they might get scared. There are people all over the world who had the same thing to deal with. Mm-hmm. Their child growing up, doing school massacres, doing all that. All the time they want to know why. They don't know why.
Yeah, and then like I said, what was like he deliberately did things to the mom. What happened?
Yeah, deliberately.
What happened when he did? When she went looking through his room, found that CD. She wanted to see what was on the CD. It was a virus.
Yeah.
He was like, and then when he came in the room, when she came and talked to him about it, he was like, "That's what you get for looking through my stuff." Even how he did the little massacre thing, which like I said, the father did try. They didn't try as hard as you think they would have, because there were certain points where I think they did go to the doctor to see what was wrong with him, but he kind of acted right in front of the doctor. But then again, as you see when he got older, the father finally started noticing, like, yeah, something is kind of up with our son, which is why I think they were trying to stay together. Yeah, that was another reason he was trying to work out the marriage, because they were going to get a divorce. So, you know, that right there was pretty harsh too. But I was pretty devastated at that little girl in the father part, and how he did it. Like he bought those bike locks, and he used the bike locks to, you know, lock all the doors.
Yeah, he ordered it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he done it with what his father bought him, the bow and arrow.
Yeah.
So his daddy got killed with something he had bought his son, trying to bond.
Yeah, and that's the big irony of it, because remember when they were trying to bond and he shot the arrow at his mom at that window?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he did he shoot it at the sister? No. He did something, he made her go get it. I don't know if he shot an arrow somewhere or he threw a ball somewhere, but he made her go run after it. I don't know. But if I could go back and do like a top 10 biggest douchebags of 2011, he would definitely top it. He probably might actually win it.
Yeah, he did some messed up stuff.
He did some pretty messed up stuff. So this is just one of those movies where I will recommend people to actually watch it. It's got some great performances. It does tell a pretty compelling story. Pretty descriptive, is really well written, and it's definitely something you can focus on and keep up with and keep track with. And it also kind of, and I want to see about this guy who wrote the original book. Let's see. I said I'm looking at the book and turn around and look at something else.
Anyway, while you're doing that, the kids at school, were they picking on him? Were they?
I would have liked to see a little bit more of how he interacted with people at school.
Cause he went to the school and then all of a sudden, I never did that. Did you actually see him going to school?
Most of the time, no. I think the only time you see him actually go to school was when he did what he did. When they actually showed him getting ready to do what he was going to do. But I would have liked to seen him interact more with other people. Most of the time,
that probably would have been as a good reason as to, not a good reason because he was doing it anyway, but probably what led up to him doing it at school. Getting picked on at school, bullies, all that
being
crap.
distant and stuff. Because he seemed like one of those types where it was like, life is meaningless. Because didn't he say something like that at one point in the movie? He was like, life is just meaningless and all of this is like an illusion or some crap like that.
Okay, in the morning time, you saw him I guess dressed for school, but not actually going. I don't think
because the movie primarily followed her.
Mm-hmm.
But it would have been nice. That's a good point. That would have been nice to kind of see how he interacted with other people outside of them. So there is that. Lynne Ramsay again is the one woman that I hope that's a woman that actually directed the movie. Fantastic job. That's like she definitely deserves thumbs up, and I was correct. She is a woman. She is a woman. So she did a great job with this movie. Good execution, great with the characters. I did like the characters. I thought they did a great job. Lionel Shriver wrote the novel the same name, and this is one of those movies that's so good based off a book. I actually want to go back and read the book.
Mm-hmm.
So, I honestly, I really did like this movie. I really did. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, it's good. I mean, I was actually into it, open mouth, like, what's gonna happen next? It was very good.
So yes, it does a great job with the story. It tells a compelling story. The characters are good and likable. Also, the cast, fantastic job.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic, especially by Tilda Swinton and what was the guy's name? Ezra Miller. He did. Both of them did a great job. And for as weird as opposite as they were in the characters on the film,
mm-hmm.
they actually had good chemistry. If you can see that, they had good chemistry. It's like their characters didn't, but the two actors did.
Yeah. That's how they were able to work so good on screen.
Like you can tell,
whatever.
The performances held up to where you can tell this mother who did love her son, but also was kind of afraid of her son. Then you have this son who knows that his mother's afraid of him, but those two carried it. Like that right there carried it.
Mm-hmm.
If the movie didn't have John C. Reilly in it or the daughter in it, them two would have still carried it because it was that relationship. And regardless of how it wasn't an actual relationship, it was a relationship. So I had to give it to them. Definitely a thumbs up to both of them. They did a great job in the movie. Again, Lynne Ramsay did a fantastic job directing the movie. She had great direction. She kept the movie going at a really good pace. And I'm definitely interested in checking out the novel and see where where it might differ, or if there's other characters, which I would have liked to seen a couple of more characters.